How do you respond to good news? Shelley Gable from the University of California suggests that there's a hierarchy, with active and constructive being the most positive way of responding to good news. Passive is in the middle, negative is just that, and ignoring is the lowest on the hierarchy. In active and constructive, you offer support. You include follow-up questions of the person who's just shared that good news. In passive, you tend to have a lukewarm response. And depending on how lukewarm and what that relationship is like with the person who shared the good news, it's as good as being negative. Which is, why you? How come you deserve that? And ignoring, the listener just focuses on the self, doesn't respond to the good news at all, but just has the interaction based on why they came to be talking with the first person in the first place. No person is an island. It does take a village. Being solitary creates depression and single-mindedness. This notion of Pangea, where everything fit together, it's only whole when everybody is there. We have that in interactions with people as well. In order to be a good partner, we need to build relationships and know how to support each other. We can learn that. We can learn how to build teams. We can learn how to include non-stressors so that we can increase our productivity. Through active listening and empathy, ultimately we can build those skills. How well we connect with each other is called emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman said, "Emotions are like secondhand smoke. We give off vibes that others pick up on. The amygdala can read and identify an emotion in another person's face within 33 milliseconds, and then prime the receiver to feel the same. This principle works for both negative and positive emotions." The ripple effect is like when you take a stone and you drop it into water and you see the rings spread out. When you act, you throw out those rings that ripple across the people who come in your field. The butterfly effect is a term used in chaos theory to describe how small changes to a seemingly unrelated thing or condition can affect large, complex systems. The term comes from the suggestion that the flapping of a butterfly's wings in South America can affect the weather in Texas, meaning that the tiniest influence on one part of a system can have a huge effect on another part. Who do you affect throughout your day? How do other people affect you? Emotional intelligence has 4 attributes. The first is self-awareness. Know your own strengths and weaknesses. Be self-confident. Self-management. Control your reactions. Adapt to changing circumstances. Social awareness. Be in tune with emotional cues. Recognize power structure of groups. Relationship management. Communicate clearly. Play well with others. Emotional intelligence can be improved, though. There are 5 key skills. The first is to quickly reduce your stress. Realize when you're stressed. Identify your stress response. Discover the stress-busting technique that works best for you. Next, recognize and manage your personal emotions. Moment by moment, be aware of your emotions. By realizing how your emotions influence your thoughts and your actions, you'll be able to control them. And a willingness to pay attention to your emotions themselves. The third is to connect with others using nonverbal communication. Focus on the other person. Make eye contact. Pay attention to the nonverbal cues that you're sending, as well as the ones you're receiving from the other person. The fourth is to use humor to deal with challenges. View the situation from an alternate perspective. Smooth over your differences. Relax and recharge yourself with laughter. Be creative and think differently. The fifth is to resolve conflicts with confidence. Be focused on the present. Old conflicts should not be part of the resolution. Choose your argument. Is this the one that's worth fighting about? Be willing to forgive. There's no real place for punishment or revenge when you try to resolve conflicts. And end the conflict. Just disengage. Doesn't matter that you agreed or didn't agree. It's an option to just walk away. But why is change so hard? Why are our brains able to conceptualize the change, yet our behavior is so difficult to change? Habit makes all of the difference. It turns out that what we do is based on what takes the least amount of time. What is habit is automatic, and automatic saves time. Therefore, we're predisposed to respond out of our habit. Habits can be seen in activation energy. Making a list of the activities you do, put those into two columns. Those that you don't need to think about, and those that you plan out before you do them. The ones that you plan out, those aren't habit. Now determine and note those habits, the ones that you don't think about, that you'd like not to do, like biting your nails or smoking, and those that you would like to do more, like exercising or participating in volunteer work. By lowering the barriers of those activities you want to do and increasing the barriers on the activities that you don't want to do, you'll be able to make the change in those habits. Not having to make a decision lowers the barrier. Pre-plan the day for those activities. It turns out that just 20 seconds is all it takes to disengage from autopilot